So the different types of hypothesis tests depending on the problem we're looking at. First question is, what are the number of groups of data? Is it a single group of data, a single population? Are we comparing two populations, or are we comparing multiple populations, more than two? The second one is, what is the relationship stated in the alternative hypothesis? Are we basically saying that we want to look at to see is in two populations, are they not equal to? Are the two populations not equal to each other? Are we saying that one population in one parameter is greater than another one, or one parameter is less than another one? So nearly always it's the not equal to, but also can be specifically less than or greater than. And then the third feature we want to look at is, what's the type of variable, population parameter. And as we've seen before in numerous statistical cases, the key distinction here is between numerical data and categorical data. For the numerical data, we're comparing means of two populations. And for categorical data, we're comparing the proportions in two populations. Look at an example of the types of hypothesis test. Here we have a typical problem. In a student population, is there any difference between the grades of men versus women? So that data will be normally distributed. You can see that this is a chart of the data of mu1 minus of the difference between mu1 and mu2. So the mean of male grades and the mean of female grades. And you can see that the center is where they're equal. And we can also rewrite that center as mu1 minus mu2. And in the center, if we have the region of non-rejection, that means we don't reject the null hypothesis if the data is close enough to the center. And if it's out on the far right-hand side or the far left-hand side, we reject the data. Because on the far right, mu1 is much greater than mu2, and in the far left, mu1 is much less than mu2. So how does this data fit into our types of hypothesis tests? Well, there are two populations, males and females. Remember that the original population, the sample we did was all students, but we split it into two populations. So it's two populations. The alternative hypothesis is not equal to. So the H naught is the null hypothesis, that the mean of men is equal to the mean of women. The alternative hypothesis is that they're not equal to. And then thirdly, it's numerical data because it's grades in an exam. So we've got three characteristics: two populations, the not equal operator in the alternative hypothesis, and it's numerical data. So that specifies the type of test we can carry out on this data.